Coming up.
My heart begins to pound on the lead up to it.
This is one of the areas, of course, that has been chewed up by AI.
Alex is doing a really good job. Damn him.
Nobody likes Alex, the way he's getting all this stuff done.
And if your employees aren't having that human connection, they're still not going to listen to the goddamn training.
You sounded like you knew what you were talking about.
That's the key.
My remit for voice work is enjoyment.
I must be a weirdo then, because I really enjoy this.
No spoilers or anything, but exactly right.
Good tongue twister.
Pronunciation is difficult. We all know that.
It is the job, but it's not just the job.
It's not the product name that kills you. It's a word like digital.
So I ignore the D.
Don't put that in.
And now, enjoy the podcast.
How do you say that?
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 Hello and welcome to How Do You Say That, sponsored by BritishVoiceover.co.uk. This is Mark Rise.
Hello, and that's Sam Boffin.
Hello. Hello. Now, How Do You Say That is the weekly podcast for voice actors where we get the chance to play around with real scripts, make choices, and discover just how different we all are.
Because, well, there isn't just one way to read a script. There are a lot of different ways. So, before we do any of that, Sam, true or false, I've got a food one for you today. I am highly allergic to rolled oats. True or false?
Who could possibly be highly allergic to rolled oats? I'm calling false on that nonsense.
You're absolutely right. I love a flapjack. I love a flapjack.
Oh, I love a flapjack. It's not a euphemism, is it?
No.
Of course
Not so much porridge, but I love a flapjack.
OK, so Mark, when I was at primary school, mine's food related actually. When I was at primary school, as we know, I was a vegetarian.
Yes.
And all they served me every day for lunch, in place of the meat option, was a hard-boiled egg. Is that true or false?
As a meat substitute.
Yes.
Do you know what? It was the 1970s. I can absolutely believe that. Yes, I'm calling true on that.
It's true.
Yes.
It is true. Actually, it was a
Doesn't surprise
hard-boiled
me.
egg, or it was a socking great chunk of cheese. And all of the veg, you know.
Of course.
A very strange moment in time.
Indeed, yes. That was the 70s for you.
It was. Hooray!
Of course, we also have a very special guest with us, voice actor Kate de Quidt. Hello, Kate. Welcome to How Do You Say That?
Hi, Mark. Hi, Sam. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Let's find a little bit more out about Kate, shall we, Sam?
Yes, so Kate is an award-winning London-based voiceover artist with a versatile and captivating voice. Her voice is described as nurturing, relatable and intelligent, and she effortlessly adapts to a range of roles, from the warm and trustworthy mum next door to the authoritative leader, the engaging friend, the refined voice of luxury, and even the chilling villainess.
Specialising in gaming, commercial, corporate and medical voiceover, Kate is passionate about bringing scripts to life and helping brands forge meaningful connections with their audiences. So, welcome to the podcast, Kate. Have you got a fun fact for us?
I do. I broke my knee at a Backstreet Boys concert.
Wow.
No.
What
Yeah.
were you doing?
How?
Very enthusiastically dancing at the O2. Yeah, so there were stretchers, ambulances. It was very embarrassing. And my husband, who was my then boyfriend, now husband, was so embarrassed. He told everyone I'd done it heli skiing.
Did they stop the concert? Did anything like that happen?
No. We weren't in the glam enough seats to
So you were
cause enough
stretchered
attention
out.
for them to stop it. So, yeah, they carried on.
Well, without being able to think of any other lyric, I'll go, Backstreet's back, all right, as we look at the first script of our show and ask, how do you say that? How do you say that?
Right, so here is my little script. Yes.
This looks like a kind of e-learning thing that I might have done a few years ago. I used to do a lot of these, not so much anymore.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, so this is an e-learning piece.
Yeah.
I don't get that many e-learning pieces, but actually one of the reasons I brought it along just to seed what's happening next is that this is a super simple script.
Yes, fair.
And Kate's is not.
Yes, indeed.
Sorry.
No spoilers or anything, but exactly right.
So I thought I'm going to do something really, really, really simple. And I think this is quite a straightforward script,
Okay.
to be honest. It's, fairly self-evident, shall we say. Any questions? Anybody?
It is, although it's interesting that you say self-evident because it's got something which a lot of scripts have, which has a thing that is in it that is bolded, that could be a title or it could be something that's said. And just from glancing at this, it's not obvious whether it is spoken
It isn't
as part
obvious,
of the
is it?
script
No.
or
Okay,
not.
so I will help you out of that hole. It is said.
Okay.
Because this is, I think, when I look back, this is probably point 3 in a big, long list of things.
Yes.
And every single
Okay, that
thing
makes sense, yeah.
had a sort of choice, a mini decision to make, and a sort of setup. So it's setup, mini decision, and multiple choice. That's kind of how every single little
Okay, that
section
makes
went.
sense.
And we have met Alex before, so I'm not introducing Alex as a brand new concept at the beginning of the piece.
No, Alex is one of a number of people that we talk about. There's a different person in every section making up the workforce of that particular fictional company, So.
He looks like he's working hard, to be fair.
Or she.
Or she, of course.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely, yeah, very much so,
Yes.
very much so. All right, well, I'll give it a go first, and you say fairly straightforward, so I'll put myself in the mindset of the ones that I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Alex believes multitasking helps get more done. Right now, Alex is replying to emails, updating a report, answering chat messages, listening in a meeting. Alex thinks, I'm doing 4 things at once, I'm getting more stuff done. But constant task switching can actually slow us down and increase mistakes. Mini decision. Alex has a report due in 30 minutes, but keeps getting chat notifications. What should Alex do?
What should Alex do?
What should Alex do?
Dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know.
Yes. What did you think, Kate?
I thought beautifully read, very sort of elegantly simple. I think sometimes you don't need to overdo things, and that there was a lightness to it, which I thought worked well.
Yeah, and obviously you dealt with the lists really well. There's a kind of you knew exactly where you were in the list as a listener. You knew when you had started it, middle, end, that kind of thing.
I always do it on my fingers as well. So point 1 and my thumb goes up, point 2 and my finger goes up. So I can actually make the point there. And I think that comes across in voice as well, in vocally as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that is really useful.
Yeah, I think the physicality of doing that means that it kind of naturally means that you sort of pause and do
Yes.
it sort of in a way that then kind of breaks it down
Agreed.
simply. I think if you just try and mentally do it, it somehow doesn't work quite as well.
Mm-hmm.
You were very measured in your read, and you can sort of see why a lot of this stuff
has gone to AI.
Honestly,
I know,
you can sort of see it, can't you?
It's like, yeah. And that is maybe where we fell down 5 years ago, allowing it to be so simple for that. But this is one of the areas, of course, that has been chewed up by AI.
It's actually why I try and infuse it with a little bit more kind of personality rather than beautifully read, if you see what I mean.
Yep.
The only other thing that I would have said is that Alex thinks, Alex is pretty proud of him or herself. So I would have probably perhaps got more pride in the first part of that sentence. The second part, actually, interestingly, was full of smugness, which was good. Not smugness, but pride. Do you know what I mean?
Alex Pride, yes.
Alex Pride.
The few bits of e-learning that I do get these days are written with more character pieces in them, which I think AI doesn't do as well. It might do one day, but it's not doing as well now. So because they are more acting pieces now, I think that is where people are beginning to write it. And of course, the trouble is, it's all very well for companies to go, all right, we'll put this stuff over to AI. But the point is human connection. And if your employees aren't having that human connection, they're still not going to listen to the goddamn training.
And I think if you're someone who has to sit and listen to these courses that come out every single year for your firm, actually having something that doesn't bore you to tears within 2 minutes and literally mean that you sort of click the buttons haphazardly without thinking about it in order to finish the training, I think makes such a huge difference.
Agreed.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that these things can be brought alive with the human voice much, much better than they can with the AI. I think you switch off more easily. We would say that, wouldn't we?
Here's a question to our, how do you say that, audience. Do you think we're preaching to the choir?
Yeah,
maybe
we are
a little bit.
Although it's worth remembering, isn't it, though, to try and get as much of yourself in it. That's the thing, is that we're too quick in many ways to think, I'll do the safe read.
Kate, would you like to have a go?
Sure. Alex believes multitasking helps get more done. Right now, Alex is replying to emails, updating a report, answering chat messages, listening in a meeting. Alex thinks, I'm doing 4 things at once. I'm getting more stuff done. But constant task switching can actually slow us down and increase mistakes. Mini decision. Alex has a report due in 30 minutes, but keeps getting chat notifications. What should Alex do?
I really wanted you to go,
Nice.
mini decision.
Mini decision.
I thought that was really lovely. And
Yeah.
you took what Sam said about Alex being full of
Yeah.
pride at the beginning
Full
of that
of
sentence, and
pride.
that absolutely came out beautifully.
Yeah, no, it was really nice. And there was a lot of light and shade in it, I thought,
Yes.
as well. A lot of ways that you did those mini, tiny pauses, you know, that kind of almost make you think, oh, she's thinking about what she's
Yes.
going to say next, which is the key to, making it sound conversational and lifted off the page. Yeah, I really like that.
As you say, it's very easy to play the safe. And I think if you're doing sort of long bits of this, actually the challenge is to do that, is to kind of be alive in it and to sort of remember that who your audience is and not just kind of drop into that sort of safe read and just try and, kind of be more human with it. But
Yes.
yeah, it's nice. It's a nice one to do.
All right, Sam, what did you do with it then? Well, how did you make it human?
Nothing staggeringly wonderful, I can assure you, but let's give it a go. So, Alex believes multitasking helps get more done. Right now, Alex is replying to emails, updating a report, answering chat messages, listening in a meeting. Alex thinks, I'm doing 4 things at once. I'm getting more stuff done. But constant task switching can actually slow us down and increase mistakes. Mini decision. Alex has a report due in 30 minutes, but keeps getting chat notifications. What should Alex do?
Yeah, I thought that was lovely. Sort of it felt like you were actually just having a chat in a live training session with people. Like it felt more sort of interactive rather than just someone kind of talking through a screen. It felt like you could be standing actually at the front of a group training session, kind of.
Interactive's a
with
great
people.
word. I thought quite
It
quirky
is.
as well, actually. You took it relatively quirky, certainly in the... Right now, Alex is replying to emails, updating a report.
What a
I liked that.
dick.
Yeah. Alex is doing a really good job. Damn him.
Alex came in on a Monday morning and he actually felt like doing some work for a change.
Nobody likes Alex, the way he's getting all this
Be
stuff
less
done.
Alex.
Be less Alex.
I love it. Well, remember, these are real scripts we're working on, and we've changed names and some details to avoid copyright issues. You can find both of the scripts we're using today in the show notes of this episode, and wherever you're listening, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, YouTube, they've all got the show notes there. Play, how do you say that?
Yes, and now the script I've really been waiting for.
Sorry.
Yes, Kate.
In comparison to a simple one that you brought, Sam,
Yeah.
Kate has brought quite a difficult one.
It's true. So this is obviously a medical script. So
Yes.
Kate, talk us through this one.
Yeah, so this is actually one that I did as a live session. Most of the medical stuff I do live.
Yeah, me too, funnily enough. Yeah.
And I think it's predominantly because it's confirming sort of pronunciations, and also
Yes.
they usually have a scientific person from the medical company or from the
Yeah.
drug company
Yeah.
in the room as well, just to confirm that you are saying
Yeah.
things in a way
Yes.
that doesn't just make sense grammatically, but actually does make sense from a scientific basis.
Sometimes they only half listen, though.
Yes.
Certainly if the
yes.
session is like over an hour.
Yeah,
They're only
they
half
can,
listening.
They can switch off. And
Yes.
also, actually, interestingly, sometimes I'll do a couple of versions because there'll be a word that might be a US pronunciation and then a UK pronunciation.
okay.
And they're not entirely sure. And so sometimes you'll have to do sort of various strains and strains of it in different ways.
Yes.
But yeah, it's always a good fun challenge, good tongue twister.
Yeah, you see, now I've done a few medical. Back in the day, I gave up because I felt on the run up to them exactly how I'm feeling now, which is incredibly anxious. Literally, I can feel my heart pounding, thinking, oh my God, I've got to do this now. I don't know why. I get so excited about them. But
Have you made any annotations to your script, Sam?
No.
Because
Should I have done?
That's the key
That's
for
the
medical,
key, isn't
I
it?
find.
There
Do
you
you
go.
think that, Kate?
Yeah, I think also the key thing is don't rush.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
rush, because there's so many little bits. You'll always sound faster than you think you are. But I think if you try and sort of do it at a kind of a regular pace or a sort of any other script pace, you'll just get halfway through a sentence and think, I'm running out of space in my mouth to get all this in.
Yeah. Good luck, Sam. The joyous thing I find about these when they're in a live session is it's normally punch and roll. So if you do go wrong, the engineer will hit the button and then you can just pick up from it. But you don't have that here. So
I don't have
Good
that
luck.
here, and I'm slightly nervous because I think that I know that I'm going to be concentrating more on the pronunciation than I am
Yep.
on the delivery,
Yeah.
which of course is another problem. But anyway, let's go for it. Okay. Targeted therapies are currently used for relapse and refractory multiple myeloma. These may work intracellularly by protein regulation and or by targeting cell surface components. Surface targeting immunotherapies include anti-CD38 monoclonal antibodies, agents targeting C-cell maturation antigen, or BCMA, and agents targeting the G protein-coupled receptor class C group 5 member D, or GPRC5D.
The pace was just right, Kate, I thought.
Yeah, the pace was really good,
Which
yeah.
allows you to kind of read slightly ahead so you're not constantly tripping over yourself. I thought that was a nice read, actually, Sam.
Yeah, it was a really nice read. You sounded like you knew what you were talking about,
Yes,
which is
that's the
which
key.
Which
That's
is the
the
key thing
key.
with medical.
I don't like them, though, and I do avoid them. I will really only do them if they're extremely well paid, which they're better
And
paid
they normally
than normal.
are quite well
They
paid.
are.
Yes.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I just find them. My remit for voice work is enjoyment. So I
must
try.
be a weirdo then, because I really enjoy this.
I know, and that's what I find is that people that do medical really enjoy the tongue twister nature of the medical thing, and it's something that actually makes me want to run away. I just don't like it.
Every time I've done them, it's been a live session. And I have to say, both the engineer and the medical person, the client, have both been delightful in
Yeah.
every case. And that's made
Really
me feel
lovely
much
people,
better
really
about
lovely
them.
clients.
Yeah, because they know how difficult it is.
Yes.
They're not under any illusion that you will necessarily get it every sentence right every time.
They're very understanding
Absolutely,
of little
yes.
mistakes, because they know how unbelievably complicated it is. And pretty much at the end of every session, I've had someone go, I have no idea how you do that. That is incredible.
Exactly,
So
yes.
that's so lovely to work with a client who, before you even start, is thinking that you're brilliant, which is really nice, really nice
exactly.
to work with.
It's also not just the pronunciation. I think this is what worries me, is even if I get the pronunciation right, am I giving it the right weight to the right
Yes.
bits of
The
it,
right
if
word.
you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Pronunciation is difficult. We all know that. This
Yeah.
is the job.
It is the job. It is the job, but it's not just the job. But I'm in awe of the people that do love doing this. As I say, I will do it under duress, but if you love doing it, my hat off to you.
Well, there you go, Mark. She's in awe of us.
I am. I'm in awe of you.
You do it more regularly than I do, Kate. I'll give it a go, and let's just see if I can't completely fall over it. Let me see what happens. Targeted therapies are currently used for relapse and refractory multiple myeloma. These may work intracellularly by protein regulation and or by targeting cell surface components. Surface targeting immunotherapies include anti-CD38 monoclonal antibodies, agents targeting C-cell maturation antigen, or BCMA, and agents targeting the G protein-coupled receptor class C group 5 member D, or GPRC5D.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. And I think also you had a good flow through it, that it didn't feel like you were like, oh God, one bit of information, oh, and another bit of information. Oh, it actually sort of flowed through, like you were like, yeah, of course it's this, and I'm telling you this, and I am a doctor, and it's,
I realised when I skim read it that second paragraph is actually just one sentence.
Yes.
That was an interesting thing you just said, though, Kate, that you imagine that you're a doctor. I think if I did that, it might make a difference.
Oh.
That would make a difference to me. I think I should do that with medical stuff, because if I imagined I was a doctor or a nurse or a consultant, then it would suddenly become almost like words in a play, and that would somehow make the switch for me.
Yes.
There's an excellent podcast, a Star Trek podcast actually, called Dropping Names with Johnny and Brent, which is Jonathan Frakes and Brent Spiner from Star Trek, talking about all of the technobabble that they had in their scripts in Star Trek.
Yes, they must have
but what
had
they were
so
saying
much
is
stuff.
they found it okay, but the guest stars that used to come in used to fall over it, and they used to say, oh, I knew it last night. And it's because they hadn't read it out loud. They hadn't allowed their mouth to get around it, as opposed to, they knew it in their brain, but their mouth couldn't do it until you read it out loud and do it. So that's another way of
definitely.
kind of getting round medical. But occasionally when you only have the script 5 minutes beforehand, there's no way of doing that, Kate, is there?
No, I think what you find is you start to find that there are kind of tropes, or there are things that you sort of say more frequently.
Yep.
So I've found that I've done for very different products, but that there are sort of things that kind of come up again and again, and you kind of start to go, oh, okay, cool, I know how to say that. I know how to string that together.
Yeah.
The job is to lift it off the page and make it sound
Lift it off the
amazing.
page. Say the words, lift it off the page. And Kate's going to show us how she does that now.
Yes, how do you do it?
Targeted therapies are currently used for relapse and refractory multiple myeloma. These may work intercellularly by protein regulation and or by targeting cell surface components. Surface targeting immunotherapies include anti-CD38 monoclonal antibodies, agents targeting C-cell maturation antigen, or BCMA, and agents targeting the G-protein coupled receptor, class C, group 5, member D, or GPRC5D.
Ooh, nice.
What I found fascinating there, you used a lower register of your voice, and that
Yes,
added some
you
real
did.
heft to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose I do probably do it in a slightly sort of lower register.
Yeah, it had again, as you said to Mark, funny enough, it had a lovely flow to it.
That's right, yeah.
I like that. I mean, it's almost difficult to critique it.
Yes.
It's not a story, it doesn't have a beginning, a middle and an end, and we don't fully understand what it's saying.
Yeah.
I
so
think
it's
that's why it's difficult, isn't it?
yeah.
Well, two very different scripts there, but what do you reckon's going to happen in the wildcard, Sam?
I have no idea. So, Kate, choose a script and give one of us a new direction.
Okay, I'm going to choose script 1 because I'm going to be kind.
Okay.
And I think Mark, and I would like you to be a substitute teacher, supply teacher, who is far too intelligent for what you're having to teach.
Lovely. Yes.
And you're having to sort of teach something which you believe is completely beneath you to a class of children who
Aren't interested.
are not yours and aren't interested, yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. I could be Alex, couldn't I? It's like talking about myself in the third person. It's like, all right. Oh, settle down. Alex believes multitasking helps get more done. You see, right now, Alex is replying to emails, updating a report, answering chat messages, listening in a meeting. Now, Alex, listen, would you? Because Alex is thinking, I'm doing 4 things at once. I know how he feels. I'm getting more stuff done. But you see, children, constant task switching can actually slow us down and increase mistakes. Now, you have to make a mini decision here. Alex has a report to you in 30 minutes. Keeps getting chat notifications. What do you think Alex should do?
Nice. You did something so interesting there that I think I might pull into future things. You really concertinaed your pacing.
Yeah.
And I really liked that.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was actually deliberate.
Well, of course it was for the character, but what
Yeah.
I mean is that for something as blank, if you like, as that original script, it made it lively.
Yeah, it really did. And I thought you got his disdain for these little pups across beautifully.
Really nice.
There was some disdain there, wasn't there?
And the pre-life was good. You were a bit of a bolshy. You know,
I've
teacher,
had
it's true, but
student
the pre-life
teachers like
was
that
good.
when I was at school in the 80s, and we had some real
Oh,
nasty
God, yeah, so did we.
student teachers.
Okay, so Kate, I'd like you to do your script, but I would
Okay.
like you to do it as if you were a cameraman doing a really complicated on-set move. So you're the cameraman that is, I don't know, sitting on the moving crane, and
Right.
you're kind of at the beginning of the piece. You're eyeing up the crane shot. You're moving on the crane, and then the crane is going up and out of shot. So you're
Okay.
timing a very complicated move with actors on set.
Oh, heavens.
Oh heavens!
Okay. Right. Visualize. Targeted therapies are currently used for relapse and refractory multiple myeloma. These may work intracellularly by protein regulation and or by targeting cell surface components. Surface targeting immunotherapies include anti-CD38 monoclonal antibodies, agents targeting C-cell maturation antigen or BCMA, and agents targeting the G-protein coupled receptor class C group 5 member D or GPRC5D.
Yes.
That was difficult.
Was it?
I thought you got through that beautifully.
Really well,
Because
actually.
I wasn't sure either how you were going to approach it or how I would approach it. I thought that was a tough one, but you did really nicely.
I really got the feeling that you were moving out on the dolly.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that what you were doing?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was what I was doing. I was starting in very kind of close.
Yes.
And again, it was that physicality of like, right, I'm going to hold my hands
Yes.
as narrow and I'm going to try and sort of pull my arms back and back and back and back and back into that wider shot as I go through. So I'm glad it worked because that
really
was
did.
complete on the fly.
You were so concentrated and you could see that what you were doing at the beginning was kind of getting it right.
Yes.
Right. Okay, I've got this right. Now I've got to do the zoom up and off. And I really felt that. I really felt that concentration, which was really good.
Oh, good.
Right, Sam.
Yes.
I am going to be mean to you, and I'm going to
Lord,
choose
I know what
script
it's gonna
2.
do.
I'm going to choose script 2.
I'm so sorry, Sam. I owe you a
Sorry.
really large glass of
You
wine
do.
after
You
this,
do.
I think.
No. That's
But
good excuse as any.
I'm
yeah.
going to give you a choice here because I
Okay.
would like it to be either wizard-esque, creating a spell,
Okay.
or superhero proclaiming to a crowd.
Okay.
But that might
All
give
right.
you something different to do with it.
Yes, it will. It will. Okay.
Now, targeted therapies are currently used for relapse and refractory multiple myeloma. Yes, these may work intracellularly by protein regulation and or by targeting cell surface components. Surface targeting immunotherapies include anti-CD38 monoclonal antibodies, yes, and agents targeting C-cell maturation antigen or BCMA, and, of course, agents targeting the G protein coupled receptor class C group 5 member D or GPRC5D. Yes, perfect.
And I don't think you found that nearly as difficult to do
That's
in that
brilliant.
kind of character
That was
as a
so
straight
good.
medical read, did you?
No,
I love
I
that.
didn't.
And I could literally see the bubbling
Cauldron, yes.
cauldron and the things being poured in and the
Absolutely.
things being pulled from the
Yeah.
shelves. And
Giving myself a prop, as it were, a visual, a prop,
Yeah.
really helped, actually.
And what was your visual?
Well, it was exactly what you were saying.
cauldron,
I was taking things down from a shelf. I
Yeah.
was sprinkling them into
Nice.
a
Yes.
kind of cauldron-y type thing. I was stirring. I was excited. I was visualising that.
Yeah.
And that made a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, isn't it, how that can completely change the look of a script. Yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Amazing. As always, we put the scripts in the show notes. You can have a try yourself in whichever character you'd like. And if you want to see behind the scenes of How Do You Say That, then we're all over TikTok and Instagram.
Oh, we certainly are. And Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes. So, Kate, you have had jobs on the other side of the mic.
yes.
So what useful stuff have you brought from your previous careers into your voice acting career?
Yeah, so I actually became a voice actor quite late. I worked for Comic Relief for 13 years and worked in the corporate fundraising side. So I looked after all the big commercial sponsors.
Oh, right.
And so was very much sort of looking at things from the brand side. So
Yeah.
putting together kind of promotional campaigns and marketing campaigns and looking at their advertising and what they were doing. And so very much thinking with a brand tone of voice. And I think that's been hugely helpful when I get a
Yes.
script, because it means I can very quickly kind of go, okay, well, what is the brand trying to achieve? What are they trying to say? How else do they talk about themselves in other materials? And so it kind of gives me a bit of a shorthand into looking at what the brand might be wanting to communicate. I also work with some quite challenging brands and some quite challenging characters. And so it's meant that actually I've become quite hardened to feedback from directors. Actually, it
Yes.
means that
Yes.
in live sessions, if someone says, no, do it again this way, or I don't like that, I'm like, cool, fine. That's what you want. That's not a problem, because I've had to sort of, deal with some quite interesting characters in the past who've perhaps shouted at me at midnight about a website. So, you I think once you've kind of lived in that world, you kind of just go, yep, sure, fine, it's not a problem. So I think it's been good to kind of get lots of stuff from that world.
But it's true, all of that stuff, all of that negotiation, that collaboration with people
Yeah.
allows you to see a brand as simply that, a brand. That
And
you
also
have
I
to...
Yeah, and I think understanding that these things, it's never personal. And I think that's been a really huge thing, particularly with any kind of creative stuff. When you're being directed or someone has an opinion, it's not a criticism of you. It's not a critique of your performance per se, but that isn't matching up with what they're looking for their brand. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And you just have to go, okay, cool, well, we'll change it and we'll do something different. And
that whole team of people.
Yeah.
There's never just one, or very rarely, just one person, particularly with the bigger brands. There's usually a lot of people that have to have a say in what the end product is.
And invariably, when that team has had a say and then it goes up to senior management will then turn around and go, actually, no, I don't like that and it will have to get done again. So I think, an understanding. I think also an understanding of the fact that when people send you scripts really late, there is a reason why they're coming to you really late. There's a lot of stuff.
Because it's been through 15 other people.
It's been through 15 other people, and everyone has opinions, and it's had to go to the lawyers, and it's had to go to compliance, and it's had to go to the brand team. And so I think, again, having an understanding of that means that actually if people say, oh, can you do a job on Thursday? And then you get the script sort of like 5 minutes before, they're not being arseholes. That's genuinely how long it's taken them to get all that stuff done. I mean, sometimes they are, but generally...
Let's just say sometimes they actually are, but yeah.
Sometimes they are, but generally it is that there's about 1 million layers that they've had to go through.
Yeah.
So I think, having a bit of kind of understanding of what that process, the other side of the mic has been really helpful.
It's a really sensible way of looking at it. Kate, thank you so much for coming on the show. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been so lovely.
It's been wonderful.
So lovely.
A reminder that all of Kate de Quidt's details can be found in the show notes of the episode.
Yes, and of course there's lovely scripts there too. So do check out the podcast by searching at HDYST podcast on TikTok and Instagram if you want to see what we all look like in our booths this week.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks again to Kate de Quidt. Well, quite. We'll be back next week with more scripts and another voiceover guest when we'll be asking,
How do you say that?
How do you say that?